Today we're going to talk about Evernote. Evernote is available both on desktop as well as mobile device here on Evernote.com. What we're going to go today is I'm going to go over the mobile version here on iPad, and I'm going to show you the desktop version of the app as well as Skitch. So let's get right to it. First of all, you just tap on Evernote. And if it's the first time you're doing it, we'll ask you for a sign up page, and pretty much it's just done by email. So you select an email and a username and log right in, and after that you're all set up. Once that happens, you'll actually be right up to, you'll have your name and an account right on your top left. And of course, if you see this circle here, right now it's syncing wirelessly with your notes. So how does Evernote work? Well, basically this is a wireless version of taking notes, and these notes can be anything from text, the camera, to photos you had. You can even set reminders and even do a list here, and they're all in order by the date you took them and all the way to the way you organize them. So I'm going to start with real simple by hitting the text one. So I just tap on text. And pretty much here's my new note. I have the option of making this a reminder, adding a photo to it, or making a voice note. It's pretty simple. Basically, we can either put it up right here, and I can just tap the name of it. So I'll just call this test note or night. And then I'm just going to tap that again and say my first note. And as you can see on the bottom here, you actually have the ability to bold it, italicize it, underline it, slash it. You can highlight it if you want to. Or you can change the centerization, right, left, just simple as that. You can add bullet points or number lines, or you can even add into a little check mark, so later on you can make a list and you can just tap on it and it'll make a check mark saying I've completed that task. It's really a little fun here. Of course, you can change the margins around. You can go back here, as you can see, back and forward arrows and normal keyboard. And if you want to, you actually have a little information tab. If I click on the information tab, it will basically just say right here what the note's about. It'll give a basic layout of it, where it was taken. If you want to do it, you can add a tag on here, so I can click on this. And I can say here, let's say I want to do this as a reading level tag. So now, this note now has a reading level tag on it, as you can see right up here, which means I have my notes organized. If I want to, I can add a picture. I'll just hit the plus button here. I'm going to do this from a saved photo I have. And I'm going to do my little Tech Tuesday here. It will double check it, say, is that good? And I say yes, and hit select. And then we hit done. And of course, the picture will be added to it, as you can see, a little marker here showing it. So now I can say this is my first note that's about Super Teacher Tech Tuesday, which starts 17th of June here. And if I want to, I can even add a little voice note and say, we will be going over iPad basics in advance, as well as the iWork apps such as Pages, Keynote, and Numbers, and a little bit of iPhoto. And then there's my little voice note, and all I have to do is hit save. It will save it, and as you can see right now, it's all set up in my system and everything. And I'm going to actually show you how to sync that across the boards here in a moment. Next, I'm going to go over to notebooks here, now that we've gone through the basics of creating a note. If I click on notebooks, I have 3 here created, but basically is my notebooks are set up different ways. This is how you can organize them. I have my main notebook here, which is your default. It will be under your username here, and it says I have 36 notes. You can sync it with other apps that are available with Evernote, such as Ever, Pitch, or Skitch. Here I have 14 notes from Skitch. I have my Tech Tuesday create, and then I just have the normal trash here if I want to. But if I want to add a new note, I'll just hit the plus button, and I'll say test note book. And I'll hit done. And it's created it. If I don't want that, I can do 2 things. I either can hold on to it. I hit the edit button, and as you can see, I have the ability to delete it or share it. If I hit the share button, it will say, well, who do you want to share this with? And you can send it by email or by other people on Evernote if you want to. And you can do it for edit or invite others or just to view notes. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to hit this close, and I'm going to delete this. All I do is hit the arrow. It will ask you, do you want to delete this test notebook? And I just say yes, and it goes away. If I want to check out the information on it, I can just hit right here, and right here will give me the name of the notebook, what stack it is. Stack basically is your versions of notebooks that you can create, or if you want to add a shortcut, basically you just do a quick little add-on. So I hit add a shortcut, and I'll hit done. So that way when I go to my shortcuts later, and as you can see, I can actually do this. I can go over to my tags, and I have all my tags ready to go there. And here's my shortcuts, as you can see right here in the top. I just click on shortcuts. It has my Tech Tuesday, meaning that's a very important notebook to me, and that's the ones I want to click on right away, so that's all I would do. If I want to check out my places where I've tagged it, just tag it right here. And it will show my locations where I've made notes here. California, if you're wondering, I have not been to California in about 25 years, but basically this is where Evernote's stated, so that's exactly where you're going to get your first one, so don't feel confused. But you can see I've made 1 in Hoffman, I've made 10 in Rockford plus an extra 8, and then I made 1 in St. Charles. So you can tag your notes, so that way if you can say, oh, what note was that? I don't remember what it was named. Where did I put it? I know I was, in Chicago, and then you can tap on here and say, oh, there's Chicago. Or you can put in the search here, or you can even turn on your location services. It's a nice little feature. But this is basically the mobile version of Evernote. There's very basics here. You can add your tags here if you want to add new ones or old ones. All you do is click on this. You just hit edit, and you can add a new one if you want to, or delete old ones, add your places. If you want to go premium, you can go here. Premium basically shows you right here. Monthly, it's $4.99. Yearly, it's $44.99. And as you can see, you can do your notes offline, have a mobile security, super size upload. See, because right now your uploads can pretty much be up to about 50 megabytes. Here you can get a gig, and you can do better note history as well as better sharing. But that's if you want to go premium with the various Evernotes. And I'm just going to hit cancel there. And there we go. So that is the mobile version of Evernote. And I'll show you how this works with Skitch. Skitch is actually a whiteboard annotation app, which is right here. This is Skitch. It used to be a heart. It is now an arrow leading to this. What you do is you tap on Skitch. And this is the last picture I did. I was doing a color wheel here for class. I am basically going to start a new one right here on the top once it loads. Here you go, good old Skitch. Get your point across with shapes, arrows, and quick sketches. Get Skitch today. It's a completely free app, has a desktop and mobile version as well, and it will go over the basics here. I'm going to, of course, skip through this because I know everything about it, so I'm going to hit that. Once it is, you actually will come to the main roll here. You can actually do it, and actually I'm going to do right here because I am doing some stuff with my app dice here. So I'm going to click on this wonderful Google Apps dice here that was created by Casey. You should go check her out here at shakeuplearning.com. Casey has some wonderful learning there. She is a fantastic tech facilitator. I recommend checking her out. But she made some app dice after receiving my models online. She did it with all the different Google apps here. So Skitch works pretty simple. Let's say I just want to have the app dice, nothing here on the sign from her, and then just Casey's logo. So first, of course, I can crop it. So I'm going to hit the crop button. It will bring it up, and all I'll do is take my finger here, and I'll just reorganize, as you can see, my little corners. I'll do that. Once that's all finished, I will say crop image on top. Voila, there we go. Now I have all the stuff I want to. If I want to, I can use an arrow right here. If I hit this here, this brings up my different menus. You can blur out, you can photo tag, X tag, highlight, create shapes, and add text and do arrows. I love arrows the most. I'm going to click on arrows here. And what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to say Shake Up Learning here was created by good old Casey Bell here. And I'm going to hit this again and add text so you can see it, because you can't really see it very well here. My students might want to see exactly who this is. So I'm going to tap on that. And I'm just going to say good old Casey Bell. I like to call her Casey Campbell. I used to work with a Casey Campbell, so that's why I say that a lot. But I'm just going to put in good old Casey Bell. And then if you can see here, I can move it now with my finger or stretch the text out if I want to. Oops, I made a little mistake there. That's a quick fix. I'll tap off that. There we go. And there's my moving ability. All I can do is go here, and if I grab the little arrow, I can make it a little bigger. So this is Casey Bell there. And now, once that's over, I would talk to people here. I'm going to grab my highlighter. I'm going to say she does go to, this is a beginner's guide. I can change the color if I want to. I'm going to do yellow here instead of black. So I can highlight that. And if I would like to, I can click on this. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to hit that delete. There we go. So now I've deleted my mistake, and I've kind of yellow lined that too. It's still a little error, so I'm going to click on it again. I'm going to delete it, and this time I'm going to underline it correctly. Oops, as you can see, once again, I made a minor mistake. All you have to do is tap if you make a mistake to correct any of these issues. It's really simple. And then what I'll do is I will just do that, and I'm going to tap on it again. And as you can see, I can move the underline, or I can make it bigger. Pretty little neat little thing. So those are the different options, like I said, and I can even photo tag a couple of these if I want to. If I want to talk about, let's say I want to talk about my favorite apps on here, I can select my heart here, and I can hit my sunglasses here, and what I'll do is I'll put a smiley face by here saying this is one of my favorite ones. I can rotate this if I want to. I can increase the size, or then I can even add a little annotation, and I'm going to say I love my Google search. So there we go. I'm just going to say Google Drive is the best. As you can see, there we go. That way, I can tag that without issue. And then what I do is I hit done on the top. And that's ready to go. And then when I'm all finished with this little sketch note, I can just go right up here to the share button. I hit the share button. And I'll say, well, do you want to add captures? I said, nah, I'm just going to save this. As you can see, I can do this as a meeting, or I can share this as a note or anything else. And all I'm going to do is actually just hit save. And I'm just going to say save this to Evernote. It's going to quickly sync. It's going to say, do you want to save that to Evernote? I said, yes, please save it. It's all nice and saved now. So what I'm going to do is hit the old check mark. And I'm going to go back to Evernote. And as you can see right here, now I'm back in Sketch, it's all saved in my notebooks to look over for class or if I want to do any extra notes. And that's pretty much Evernote and Sketch on the mobile platform. I will now show you how to go to the desktop version. And here it is. It's at evernote.com, and all you do is, of course, you sign in, or if you want to, you can actually download the desktop version right here as an app of itself in the desktop. They pretty much work the same here. Desktop, you don't really have to have internet unless you're ready to sync your notes across the board, especially with Sketch. There's just a couple different tools differences, such as adding a larger size photos and everything. But once I go right into, as you can see right here, here are my notebooks here. It is syncing, of course, through the wireless. I click on my notes, and here's all the ones I've done recently here. It's going to take a second to sync, and there they are, all synced, ready to go, as you can see. I can even check my notebooks in general. Right here's my Sketch. I can click on Sketch. And look at that. I have all my notes across the board. And if I wanted to create a new notebook, all I have to do is click on here to create a new note. And I can just say new note 2. Now, as you can see right here, I have a couple of different features. If I click on this one, I can annotate an entire note as a PDF. If I want to, I also can click on this. This is the slideshow presentation. This is only available in the premium version. But basically, you can set up a whole set of PowerPoint or Keynote presentation and actually sync them as an upload to your Evernote to where you can actually play them as a presentation right here. And pretty much, as you can see here, it gets a little bit of presentation arrow so you can actually use your notes and everything. You can change up here. You can go into night mode if you want to, or you can exit completely out of that. If you want to, of course, you can share like everything else and open them. You can copy the URL, open them in the browser, email them, or share your notebook. Or if, of course, you don't like it, you can just trash it. They pretty much work the exact same way across the board here on both the mobile and desktop versions of Evernote. Same goes for Sketch. There are just a couple of minor features. My advice is to, of course, log in. Sign up is a completely free account, of course, and then just play with a few of the new features with it and actually sync them across the board. It's a great way to get your notes at home, in your hand mobily, or anywhere you go. So try out Evernote today.